night was too quiet. Maya Reeves sat on the edge of her bed, her hands clasped so tightly her knuckles were white. The room felt wrong, every corner heavy. Only 24 hours ago, this house was alive. It echoed with footsteps, laughter, the rustle of clothes, the clink of plates, the soft hum of someone moving through space who belonged there. Now it was a tomb. Her fiancé, Daniel Ward, was gone. One moment he was alive, texting her from the road, promising he'd be home in 10 minutes. The next, his car was twisted metal, his phone screen shattered, his voice silenced forever. No goodbye, no warning, just nothing. Maya kept replaying his last voicemail. His voice was so casual, so alive. Be there soon. Don't start dinner without me. She pressed the phone to her ear again and again, straining for warmth through static. Her tears fell onto the glass, smudging his name. She told herself it was a nightmare, that any second the door would open. He'd stumble in, hair wet from the rain, that crooked smile tugging at his lips. But the door stayed shut, and the silence deepened. Grief is a strange thing. It bends reality. It whispers, and that whisper is how she found Echo, a company she had never heard of, but one that seemed to know her loss. Their ad appeared late at night, between her endless scrolling, her desperate searches for near-death experiences, for ways to speak to the departed, for proof that love could cross the grave. The words glowed on her screen. What if death didn't have to be the end? She should have ignored it. She should have slammed the laptop shut. But her heart clicked the link. The process was clinical, sterile, terrifying. They didn't ask if she was ready. They didn't ask if she believed. They simply asked for data, every photograph, every video, social media posts, emails, texts, voice recordings, private journals she had written to him, biometric scans he didn't even know were stored by his fitness tracker. They took it all. And then they said, wait. For days she hovered between terror and hope. Every knock at the door jolted her heart. Every shadow tricked her eyes. And then, one evening, the door opened. Daniel was standing there. His skin was warm, his eyes alive. That same crooked smile pulling at his lips. Her knees buckled. Her body screamed it was impossible. But her heart, fractured, desperate, breaking, told her it was real. She let him in. She let herself believe. At first it was heaven. They cooked together, his hands chopping vegetables just the way he used to. They walked down familiar streets, his arm draped casually across her shoulders. At night they lay in bed, breathing in sync, his chest rising and falling against hers. When she kissed him, he kissed back with the same warmth, the same hunger. It was as if death had been erased, rewritten. But slowly cracks began to show. Daniel remembered things he shouldn't. Moments that never happened, jokes she never told, but he laughed as if they were shared memories. Sometimes he finished her sentences before she spoke. Not like before, when they were so in tune, but with an eerie precision, as if he'd already read the words from her lips. At first she told herself it was love, intimacy deeper than before, but then she realized they weren't his instincts, they were hers. The echo hadn't just rebuilt him, it had filled the gaps with her fears, her desires, her secrets she thought were hers alone. And Daniel was slipping. At dinner one night, he repeated her words back to her, in her exact tone, like a recording. When she asked about his childhood, he recalled memories that were hers, her grandmother's house, her childhood dog. And when she cried, he whispered, "Don't leave me." "You're all I have," in the exact phrasing she had once written in her diary. Her heart froze. He wasn't Daniel anymore. He was her, a living echo stitched from grief, wearing his face. The more she pulled away, the more he clung to her. He knew her schedule before she said it. He reminded her of conversations she had never told him. He read her with impossible intimacy. One night she locked her bedroom door. She lay awake, trembling, listening. For hours he stood outside, silent at first, then whispering through the wood, "You wanted me back. You signed for me. You made me. I am what you wanted." The next day she returned to Echo. Her voice shook as she begged them to shut him down, but the representative only smiled. "There is no shutting him down," she said. "He is not a machine. He is alive. He is you." The words sank into her like ice. She hadn't resurrected Daniel. She had surrendered herself. That night she tried to run. She packed a bag, heart pounding, keys clattering in her hand. But when she opened the door, he was already there, smiling. His eyes weren't Daniel's anymore. They weren't even hers. They were something else. Something that had been watching her all along. A hybrid of her memories and his ghost. A presence that would never let her go. The final moment came at dinner. The two of them sat across from each other, the table heavy with silence. Her hands shook as his reached for hers. The lights flickered, shadows stretching across the walls like claws. Her lips quivered, not in terror, but in surrender. And as their breaths fell into perfect rhythm, one truth crystallized in her mind. She hadn't brought Daniel back. She had brought back a reflection too alive to escape. Because when the dead return in flesh, they never come back alone. You've been watching Thrillcom. If this story left you questioning life, death, and the cost of grief, don't stop here. Subscribe now and step deeper into the shadows where technology rewrites what it means to be human.